hey, Strange, Evan Ingram, backup guys, Tim Jones out there. I mean, they got down the field and scored. What was the game-tying touchdown at that point? Unfortunately, the defense with a deep play against them to get them into scoring territory, and the Packers kill the clock and hit a field goal on the final play of the game. That's basically how it went. We'll dig into it, Fred, but good afternoon to you. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys, man? I'm trying to figure out how we only amassed 14 yards in the first 19 minutes of this ball game and somehow get somewhere around 400 yards to cap the game off.
It's amazing.
It's a clear indication. Even if you look at last week when they were down 10 versus Pats, it's a clear indication of this unit starting slow. They got to find a way to start faster on offense because the defense can only hold up for so long. And for the most part, the injury to Love, I think, was a blessing in disguise for the Packers because the defense, they were playing pretty well against the Packers' run game. They held, I think, at that point in time, Jacobs only had 16 for 3.3 yards per carry, 54 yards or something like that. And then it sort of opened up once Malik entered the game, and that's when they went on a run and took that 10-point lead. Still, the defense, they played well up until that particular point in the ball game. Green Bay dissected it, and they took advantage of it by exploiting them in the big run game. They created some play action opportunities. The last play to number 11,
Jaden Reed.
Reed down the sideline right there came off of a play action sort of concept, developed very slow. They found their guy on sort of like a wheel route, wide open. And, I think, again, the game had sort of changed to the Jaguars' favor for a while, but they find a way to lose, man. I don't know. One play loss again, I think, for the fourth game.
Yeah, which one play? You could probably point to several of them.
Well, yeah, but I mean in the crunch.
No, I hear you. Right. One big defensive lapse or play given up. I understand what you're saying where the injury helped Green Bay, but I think the extent of the injury helped them because if Jordan Love is fully healthy, who knows what kind of first half they have offensively. I mean, this guy was one-legged. You knew he couldn't move out of the pocket, right? And that happened pretty early. Yeah. I mean, so – it was a benefit to the Jags that you knew where he was. He was not a threat to run. You could gang up on Josh Jacobs a little bit. But, had it not been that, who knows? Maybe he throws for a couple of touchdowns in the first half, and it's a completely different story.
I mean, they still didn't really touch him much, though, in the pass rush.
They really did.
You're 100%
even though he's standing there, not moving around.
Yeah, he tweaked it on that first third and 8, the first third down of the ball game. Yeah. He tweaked it a bit, and you saw him grimacing throughout. But, yeah, who knows what he would have done if he had come in healthy, wasn't a ton of pressure, which we thought would be one of the keys to the Jaguars having a victory today, getting after the quarterback and then protecting Trevor, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, and let's talk about the ups and downs of Trevor Lawrence today. Really struggled early in this game. Passes were high, just not sharp. The operation was just weird looking and feeling, and then kind of got in a groove. He had a touchdown run. He hit a couple passes on that touchdown drive, a 33-yarder to Kirk, Thomas for 18, and then even with the penalty inside the 10, the illegal motion moved him back. They get the touchdown run, got him going. But 2 costly turnovers today for Trevor, the interception and then the fumble, and here we go again, Mike.
Yeah, in opponent's territory. I mean, the fumble is inexcusable. You're getting contacted. You're hanging that ball out in your left hand. I don't know what he's trying to do, Fred, if he's going to brace himself on the ball. You got to pull that thing in, and just got poked out from behind. We couldn't figure out who he was throwing to on the interception. Right. I don't know if it was a bad route concept or somebody was in the wrong spot because Christian Kirk and Brian Thomas Jr. are pretty close to each other, and he basically split the difference between them. And I don't know if either one of them thought the ball was coming to them.
Yeah, those 2 turnovers led to 10 points. And, I mean, that's the ball game. The interception was interception for interception, but the defense made a great play when they cut in front of Jordan Love's ball, and they went there and they took it. So
led to 14 points, 2 touchdowns. Off each turnover. Yeah,
off each turnover,
interception.
Yeah, the
Jacobs
interception.
Touchdown.
Yep,
the
it led to a touchdown and the fumble. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right, JP. Yeah. So Very costly, man. Very costly, and they'll go back and look at it. But Trevor has to certainly protect the ball. That interception was clean as day.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody was open. No. Nothing was there. And the fumble was just careless. So.
Yeah, and let's not forget, too, the defensive delay of game near the end of the first half, which cost you about 20 seconds and a timeout. Yep. And the Jags go down and answer with a field goal, but maybe they score a touchdown, Fred. Yep. That's a 4-point difference in what turned out to be a 3-point game.
Yeah,
so.
It was. I was being harassed by some fan up there, but I love you guys. It's okay. I don't mind.
Were they wearing green and gold, or were they wearing teal?
They were sneaky. They were changing jerseys, like taking it off. Hey, I'm from Duval, but I'm a Packer fan right now. But it went from 1:12 remaining to 54 seconds, Mike, and that's a lot of time considering where they were when they attempted the field goal. So you're right.
Right, they got it down to the 20, and then they were out of timeouts, and you got the middle of the field open. If you've got that time, you've got about 35 seconds too. So
it was 3rd and 10. You had an opportunity to take a shot as opposed to attempt a field goal on 3rd and 10 right there. And who knows what would have happened. You're right.
We've got plenty ahead. Bucky Brooks standing by. We'll hear from head coach Doug Peterson after he visits with the media. It's a tough loss today for the Jaguars. On the final play of the game, a field goal for the Packers, who are now 6-2 with a 30-27 win over the Jaguars, who fall to 2-6. The Jaguars Radio Network is presented by UF Health. University of Florida Health is the proud healthcare partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning, and you could save up to $4,500 through possible tax credits and other discounts. Purchase a new system today, and Florida Home Air Conditioning will buy back your old inefficient HVAC system. Request your complimentary consultation from Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
It's not about how you start the job. It's about finishing what you start. The Ford F-150 truck can help. Get the freedom to choose between available gas, PowerBoost Hyper, or all-electric powertrains, all delivering the power, capability, and efficiency needed to get the job done right. Just another reason why Ford F-Series is the best-selling truck in America 47 straight years. Ford F-150, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. We are at the Hyundai Studios, the Miller Electric Center. Bucky Brooks standing by at stadium. Head coach Doug Peterson will visit with him after he's done with the media. And the Jaguars fall to a record of 2-6. And in the AFC South today, the Houston Texans, the #1 team in the division, at the top, got a win over Indy 23-20. So it's back to a 4-game lead in the standings for Houston over Jacksonville. And there you have it. That's what happened in the AFC South today. Tennessee lost. They had a 14-14 tie with Detroit, and then Detroit won the game 52-14. So the Titans are what they are at this point as well. But this is all about the Jags today and just the ebbs and flows.
After a loss like that, where you get it out with all these injuries, you get back in the game, you tie the game, and then it gets away from you at the end. How's that as a
Yeah, I mean they're devastated. They're heartbroken. They battled their tails off. You know, they fought to the end. Quite frankly, that's all. That's all that I can ask for. But I also want them to understand too that these games come down to about 2 plays, 3 plays, right? Can't give the ball away like we did late, deep in our own end. We didn't tackle very well defensively. So there's some things that we need to clean up and continue to clean up if we want to, get back on track.
Doug, Trevor leads the 87-yard drive to tie the game without the top 3 receivers going into today. What did he kind of show you there on being able to guide the team down, obviously down his top 3 receivers?
I think, yeah, he did a nice job. I give a credit to those receivers and those tight ends and the offensive line. Those guys, they made plays for him. Right. Now he made some really good throws and all of that, but those guys that were playing at the end of the game when you're down your top 3 receivers and you're playing in your 12 personnel for the rest of the game. That's tough. But the guys battled their tails off, got us back to tying this football game with a chance to potentially win it there late. So hats off to those guys.
Coach, can you walk us through the strategy at the end of the game? It looked like you were trying to let them score, but then they kind of fell down at the end, like not allowing you to let them score.
Look, I mean, the only way for us to get the ball back was to make decisions that you could let them score. They're going to be in church mode. I mean, it was almost inevitable. So, you're playing the game and you're trying to do what you can to save time, get as much time back on that clock as you can. And they did a great job. We'd have done the same thing. Get the first down, you go down, make your opponent, in this case myself, burn your last time out, things of that nature. And, honestly, it's smart on both sides to play it that way.
Doug, how serious is Christian's injury? Did it appear to be something that might be?
Yeah, on the injuries, guys, I don't know. I haven't talked to Ferg yet. I came straight in here, so I'll probably have something later and know more tomorrow. When I get the updates.
And with Trevor on the fumble down there, the ability, though, to kind of shake it off and then kind of, like Hayes was talking about, lead them down the rest of the way. Can you just talk about that mentality to be able to have to shake stuff off?
Yeah, I mean, that's our sport, right? It's that mental toughness that I talk about with the team. I mean, we can't turn the ball over that deep. Obviously, we know that. But the resilient part of that is how we battled back and got ourselves in position to tie the football game, and that's the mindset. But that's the mindset we got to have, in the first quarter, and that'll be something that we can I think learn from moving forward.
Anything else for Coach?
Yeah, was there any thought to going for 2 at the end there?
Not with the time remaining. If there was maybe 20 seconds or less, potentially go for it there. But with the amount of time that was left in the game and a couple timeouts, no, kick it and tie it.
How disappointing was the defensive effort there at the end? You got a backup quarterback in, 2nd and long, and giving up that big play like that.
Well, I mean, that's, it's disappointing that we were able to give up that. But I look at it too. I mean, it shouldn't have necessarily come to that, but again, it just goes back to what I said too, right? I mean, you never know which 2 or 3 plays are going to be the ones that decide football games, and you just got to be ready. Make the ones that come to you and credit them. They hit it and put them in position to win the game.
All right, great, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you look at just looking at the stat sheet, that's why, a lot of times people will come back and say stats are for losers. Mike, you said it, 1 for 9 on 3rd down. I think that's the key to all of this. 24 yards for the first 19 minutes in the ball game. That's a quarter and a half. But somehow you finished the total net yardage of 390. You outgained on the average per game per play. You outgained Green Bay. they outgain you in the rushing department. But I think at the very end of the day, it all comes back to third downs, not being able to sustain those drives, and the field position game. Where Trevor threw that interception was huge. Where he fumbled at was huge, and those are the points, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was the difference today. The Jaguars had a 10-point deficit early in the fourth quarter. They rallied to tie the game, but then Green Bay gets down the field and get a field goal on the final play. 30-27 the final score. Packers over the Jaguars. Let's go back to Everbank Stadium now. Bucky Brooks standing by with head coach Doug Peterson. Bucky?
Coach, thoughts on the loss initially?
It's heartbreaking, obviously. My heart goes out to those guys in the locker room because, like JP just said, I mean, these guys battled their tails off. We lose our starting 3 receivers. We're down to, 4th and 5th guy. Tight ends, we're in 12 personnel, and we go down, 10 points, go down and basically tie the game with a chance to win it, at the end. And you're going to look back at this game, and there's going to be like 2 plays, 3 plays that are going to be the deciding factors in this game, and it's tough. It's tough, poor tackling defensively, especially in the second half. Struggles offensively beginning of the game. Some other things we can point at, but guys played tough. I mean, we battled. Guys played injured, but just wasn't enough.
Coach, I've heard you, like, on the practice field talk about, like, the little things. And so you have some pre-snap penalties and some little things that come up for a team that is a little older. It's not quite a young team. How can you help them kind of clean up some of those things that they can control?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. You just got to keep pushing. You got to keep working at it. Bottom line, they know they can't make those mistakes, right? I mean, come on, I shouldn't have to remind the guys we can't jump off sides, right? We can't have a false start. We got to be able to tackle better. I mean, that's fundamental aspects of the game. We learn that at a young age.
Yeah.
Can't jump off sides, no false starts, things of that nature. So, I'm just going to keep coaching them.
I mean,
keep showing them, keep teaching them. That's about all I can do.
So out of this game, like, we always try and take the positive out of it. So the team battles back from a 10-point deficit, have an opportunity to get a stop closed out, go to overtime. You don't get it done, but what can you tell the team to help them perform better next week when we go to Philly?
I just think the way we hung in there, I do think the way we battled, it's a good football team over there, and we did some good things. Once we got on track offensively, defense kind of held their own. I mean, in the offense, we gave them a couple short fields there, which we can't do. But I think overall, the way the guys stepped up and they kept fighting. I mean, that's really what we can look at. We did make some big plays. I know that touchdown to BT. We hit Christian a couple times, big plays. Another one to BT. Parker. I mean, Evan in the end zone. I mean, there's enough good that we can build on. It's just the little dumb mistakes that we're making that's holding us back.
Well, hopefully we get those fixed on the practice field and have a better performance next week in Philly.
Will do.
Very much. That's Bucky Brooks with head coach Doug Peterson after a Jaguars loss to the Packers. We'll come back in a moment. Plenty ahead to dive into from that conversation and the performance today. A walk-off field goal for the Packers, 30-27 the final. It's Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
To aim higher, run faster is what elite athletes do. Always strive for better. At UF Health, we have that same DNA to not just treat a stroke, but to create a fleet of mobile stroke treatment units. To not just do research, but to use AI to save lives with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia. We believe, like athletes, that human progress has no finish line. UF Health, National Medical Center for Team USA.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota, let's go places. Lease a new 2024 Toyota RAV4 LE Hybrid for $359 a month for 36 months. Offer valid through November 4th, 2024. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. $36.58 due at signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax, tag registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
Something happens when you begin to believe. What seems way off in the distance gets closer.
You focus on what needs to get done, and you'll let nothing get in your way.
Next year becomes this year, and maybe next time becomes now.
A whole city will rally behind you and begin to believe too.
Because when you believe, the unbelievable can happen. We believe in justice for everyone, and we believe we're the attorneys to help people get it. Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars. Jacksonville.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Fred Taylor were at the Hyundai Studios of the Miller Electric Center after a Jaguars loss to the Packers, 30-27. The final, Jaguars trailed by 10 early in the game, 10-0, and then fought back to take the lead late in the third quarter. Packers regained the lead by 10 early in the fourth. Jaguars rallied again to tie the game with 1:48 to play. Green Bay hits a long pass, gets into field goal range, kill the clock. Final play field goal. Packers now 6-2. The Jaguars are now 2-6. Fred, how about the thoughts there from head coach Doug Peterson with Bucky Brooks, and especially about all these little mistakes, the pre-snap penalties and things that just keep happening to this team, and 8 penalties, 59 yards, and some key moments again today.
Yeah, no, we're no experts, but we sure do sound like it based on Doug pretty much just said everything we were saying. The slow start, tackling. Mike, you mentioned that. Being one play away. You mentioned playing hard, JP. But it's the little ticky-tacky, the lack of focus moments. I think that frustrates him the most. He said they have to focus better. He has to coach it better. And it's hard to say that. We're not in the studio. We're not frustrated. We're just, recapping what we saw and what we felt that they could have done better. But we're not there every day. At least I'm not there. You guys might be able to see some of the practices. But, Coach is in the locker room. He's in the meetings. He's on the practice field. He sees that these guys are doing certain things at practice and they're not carrying it over to the game. And I think that frustrates any coach the most because it's the little things. And just to reemphasize that, we've been doing these things since Pop Warner. And here you have grown men being paid to do a job, and they can't, make it happen in crunch time. And it's been hurting them, and it's hurt them throughout the course of this season. And they could, again, easily have won 4 games as opposed to being on the losing end if they just had better focus and discipline in certain moments of the game.
You hear about it a lot, right? That teams that make a lot of mental mistakes are
bad teams.
But people say they're not well coached, right?
Yeah.
They're not disciplined enough. And you hear Doug Peterson say, Fred, and what else can he say? They know they can't jump off sides. I mean, every coach in their life has told them that. They don't need to be told that anymore. I don't know what you can do to instill that. You get Tim Jones in there who hasn't played a lot on offense, but that doesn't excuse the fact you got to be ready to go when you come in and not make those kind of mental mistakes. And there have been way too many of them this year.
Right. I was ready to talk about this team in a positive fashion in the hidden yardage department after looking at that first punt by Logan Cook.
Right.
And then you go out and you stop them and force them to punt. They punt to your 50. It's a 25-yard swing just in the special teams department. And you talk hidden yardage. Here in the penalty department, same thing. But it's on the negative end of things. And, you have a situation where, if you get off the field, interception to interception, the clock management, what was it, 20-second differential, which the team could have attempted a touchdown as opposed to a field goal on 3rd and 10. Absolutely. So all of those are hitting yardage plays, hitting opportunities to try and score, which could be the determining factor in ball games. So, and that's just one of those things for the listeners that you guys might not always see, but we see it, and they got to get better in those areas.
We're back in a moment. We'll pick out the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game in a losing effort today. 30-27 Packers over the Jaguars. And this is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning, and you could save up to $4,500 through possible tax credits and other discounts. Purchase a new system today, and Florida Home Air Conditioning will buy back your old inefficient HVAC system. Request your complimentary consultation from Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub-platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app.
Trevor, can you kind of walk us through that last drive that, resulted in the touchdown to Evan? Just obviously having so many guys out, so many different guys in, playing with 2 tight ends. Can you just kind of walk us through it?
Yeah, honestly, can't even remember all the plays that kind of led to us scoring. I know the one we scored on, and sorry, Gene's coming in. Another one we scored on. Evan did a great job with the line of scrimmage, won early, and then just went up and made a great play. But yeah, tough day. Really on all levels. Injuries, didn't win the game. It's unfortunate. So definitely bummed and hate it for some of the guys, and we'll see. I don't know. It's not my job to do injury stuff, but hopefully we can get them back soon. And just hate it for guys that are battling through stuff, and seemed like just guys kept going down today. It's part of the game, but it sucks when it all kind of happens in the same day. So just praying for those guys that they get back quick and can heal up quick. So we'll see. But yeah, obviously it's 12 personnel and you're in no huddle. It's not something you really practice much. Usually you're in 11, and you got your receivers out there, and we didn't have any left. We had 2 left, and those guys, hats off to Parker and Tim. I mean, they did a great job just staying ready. I mean, you never know when something like that could happen, and those guys did an awesome job of making some plays down the stretch and just being ready for their opportunity. So, I mean, that's a bright spot if there is one, of just those guys playing well.
Trevor, if you guys have to dip down to the practice squad where you got Elijah, Austin Trammell, Josh Cephas, did they do enough good things in training camp and in preseason games where you got some level of confidence that they'll be able to step in and perform?
For sure. Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the future looks like, but those guys have been working really hard. I think they've done a nice job. Obviously, if that happens and we do have to bring some guys up, and then it's about kind of getting that chemistry going again, because it's been a little bit since thrown with those guys and work some stuff. So this will be a big week if that is the case, if that's what happens. But those guys have been working really hard. They're prepared. That's something that we preach, is just to stay ready, because you just never know when your number is going to be called. So who knows? This could be the week for some of those guys, and I got faith in how in those guys and how they can play.
Trevor, did you apologize if you were asked this? Did you feel like you had the ball far enough away from the defender that you weren't concerned about losing it on the fumble? Because you held it away from where he was.
Yeah, I was just obviously disappointed and turned the ball over there, backed up, and giving them an easy touchdown pretty much. Definitely affected the game, so that's disappointing. I honestly thought I was going to break the tackle and scramble, so I kind of moved it to the other hand to get out of so I could use my offhand to try to get him off me. And he made a good play and made the tackle, and somehow, I don't know what hit the ball, something hit the ball, and just got to take care of it. In that situation, even if I throw it away or check it down and we don't get it and we punt, that's still better and puts our defense in a position where they can get a stop and prevent them from scoring. So I didn't help them out there.
On the play prior to the field goal, was the motion timing a little bit off?
Yeah, something happened on that. I think it hit one of our guys during the motion, so I'm not sure exactly. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what happened. It happened quick, but yeah, it's same thing. It's just another error that we got to fix. I don't know if it's the timing, if it's my cadence, time up that motion better. Obviously, like I said, we had a lot of injuries, and we got guys going that are, doing stuff that they haven't done before, and we're trying to figure it out on the fly. So it's no excuse, but we got to play cleaner.
Kind of a tale of two halves, Trevor. You talked about the success late in the game. Early on, did Green Bay show you something? You guys just seemed to struggle to even pick up a first down until midway through the second quarter.
Yeah, honestly, they did a few things a little different. I think that's every game, though. There's going to be a plan for their defensive plan for us, and what we do and what they see on tape. They have a plan just as we have a plan to play them. So there's always a couple things, but it wasn't anything crazy. We just didn't execute. I know I missed a couple throws on third down throughout the game. There were some other ones where it just felt like the details weren't good enough, whether that's being on the same page in the perimeter or whatever. It just seemed like some of the details we were lacking a little bit early, and some of the third downs. They made some good plays too, but we got to be able to convert some of those third downs. I think we had 2 or 3 and outs in a row to start the game and put our defense in a tough spot, and they were playing great. So yeah, we gotta be better on third down. We've been better the last few weeks going into this game, and we weren't good today.
Trevor, you guys were 2-6 over here. You guys were 2-6 2 years ago, 2-6 now here today. Can you draw upon that experience, and what's your confidence level comparatively to when you guys were 2-6 2 years ago versus 2-6 today?
I see that's what's kind of sucks as a player, and just being a part of the team is you see the team coming together, and where we're at the last few weeks, we really have, I felt like, come together, and we're playing more complementary, and we're giving ourselves a chance. And obviously there's just too many mistakes today, and we didn't make enough plays at the end of the game to go win it. But I do feel the team coming together, but we just got to find a way to go 3-6. Let's go win next week. I can't worry about what's going to come after that. We just got to go take it 1 week at a time. It's the only way we're going to get out of the hole that we've put ourselves in. So I'm honestly not really thinking about 2 years ago. It doesn't help you now. Obviously the experience, maybe guys have a little bit of confidence from that, but it's a new team, and we got to go do it. We can't just say, well, we've done it before, it's going to happen. We got to go find a way to make these plays at the end of the game to go win it. Yeah.
You guys scored, I think, with 1:48 left in the fourth quarter. Seeing how Green Bay's last drive played out, do you think you scored too quickly? Would you have liked to drain a little more time off the clock?
No, it's you got to score. You try to mess around and you don't score and you don't have a chance. So we were down 7. You got to score. If you got an opportunity, you punch it in. So no, I don't think that we scored too quickly. I think it's ideally, yeah, of course you would love to take as much time, and you get down inside the 5 and maybe you can run the clock, make them use timeouts, who knows, whatever it may be. But that just wasn't really the situation we were in. It felt like we were playing aggressive. We were moving the ball great. I was seeing it. Guys were getting open, making plays. And then we got our opportunity, our matchup with Evan, and we took it. So I think it's not the same as when you need to kick a field goal to take the lead or whatever. When you have to score a touchdown, you got to take them when you can get them. So, yeah.
Trevor, with the injuries, you don't know who's going to be out for how long. But when you're facing a reduced lineup like that, the pressure to be even more perfect, is that going to ramp up? Less of a margin for error, you guys going forward if you are going to get back in this thing.
No, guys just got to step up, including me. It's the same every week. Playing quarterback in this league, if you don't play well, you're not probably going to have a great chance to win. So it doesn't really change, and it's any position. You just got to play well. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You got to play together, got to execute in critical situations. Just all stuff that we've talked about, and we got to continue to get better at. And I think we have in some areas. And it's one thing the team has to stick together, and we can't be totally dejected by the result today. I do think we've come a long way, and we are continuing to come together and become a better team. But we got to find a way to win next week. So, all the work is not in vain. We've come a long way, and we just got to go find a way to win. Awesome. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Three of 11. That's pretty bad. The Jaguars were 1 of 9. That's also really bad. Mm-hmm. Their only third down conversion came on that final touchdown drive. Brenton Strange with the catch on that. Rushing yardage, 170 on the ground for Green Bay today, 91 on the ground for the Jags. Passing, 299 for the Jaguars, 252 for Green Bay. Penalties, 3 for 20 against the Packers, 8 for 59 yards, and a lot of key moment penalties for the Jaguars today. 2 giveaways for the Jags, 1 for Green Bay. And time of possession, 34 minutes, 9 seconds for the Packers. Mike.
Yeah, those giveaways killer as Trevor Lawrence. Otherwise, 21 of 32 for 308 yards, a couple of touchdowns. He, of course, had the interception, a 104.7 passer rating, but critical turnovers at bad times, including that fumble inside the 10-yard line. Lawrence ran it 4 times for 10 yards, including a short touchdown run as well. Jordan Love on the other side went 14 of 22 for 196. He had the interception that we talked about with Jarian Jones. Malik Willis, 4 out of 5 for 56 yards and 1 score, a passer rating nearly perfect, 152.9. Tank Bigsby on the ground, 18 carries for 78 yards, 4.3 a clip. Josh Jacobs, though, carried it 25 times for 127. He got 5.1 a carry, and he scored 2 touchdowns for the Jaguars. No surprise, Brian Thomas, once again, the leading receiver. He had 60 on 3 grabs with a score. Christian Kirk had 59 on 2 grabs. Brenton Strange had 59 on 5 catches today. So Trevor Lawrence forced to spread the ball around as injuries set in his pass-catching core. Tucker Kraft led the way for Green Bay. 3 grabs for 78 with a touchdown. Romeo Doubs had 3 for 72. Foye Oluokun returns to lead the team with 9 total tackles, 4 of those of the solo variety. Jags, Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker credited with splitting that sack on Malik Willis, the only one of the day for Jacksonville.
There you have it. And Fred, just moving ahead here, hopefully these injuries to these wide receivers are not serious to keep them down for a while. But, all right, there were some positive things from some of the guys who stepped in there late to make plays. Brenton Strange, one of those who made some catches down the stretch. Of course, Evan Ingram, you know what he's about. Mm-hmm. Tim Jones had a catch for 20 yards in this game today. If those guys are down, the starters, guess what? Next guy up, and those are the next guys up. Maybe it could spark something for them.
Yeah, it was good to see that second group, let's just call them that, or the guys that's been waiting for the opportunities to get out there and play. Guys like Strange and Jones, just being available, understanding that they prepare throughout the week, and when injuries happen, you gotta go. You gotta be ready to go. I like to see the offense sort of shift and kind of play around with the 12 personnel set in which they went down there later in the game and scored. You have 2 really good tight ends. If you bring in 12 personnel, you can see if the defense is going to go for a 3. If they go for a 3, you tell yourself, let's shift Ingram out and potentially pass it versus their big set. If they go 4-2-5, you keep them out there and you can run the ball. So it gives you some flexibility if you have to go with that 12 personnel look with Strange and Ingram. But either case, they got to put in the work throughout the week, put themselves in position. Everybody has to be ready. So you got to find a way to make one play when it all comes down to it. Stay disciplined, find a way to make one play, as we've said from the top.
We're back in a moment. We'll pick a player of the game and a Jaguars loss today to the Packers 30-27. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Jaguars Radio Network. Final score, Packers 30, Jaguars 27. Plenty more ahead. It's Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning, and you could save up to $4,500 through possible tax credits and other discounts. Purchase a new system today, and Florida Home Air Conditioning will buy back your old inefficient HVAC system. Request your complimentary consultation from Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
If you're facing cancer, you want a dedicated team working for you. At Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center, we only focus on cancer. And we partner with one of the largest cancer centers in the world. So you'll have a specialized treatment plan created by our experienced and highly trained oncologists and surgeons, collaborating with one of the country's leading cancer centers. Best of all, we're in North Florida with locations in downtown, Baptist South, and Clay. Appointments at BaptistMDAnderson.com.
Hey fans, it's Tyson Campbell, cornerback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, your game day is getting even tastier with Al's Pizza in the stadium. And every time we get a pick, you'll score. If the Jaguars get one interception, you'll enjoy buy one, get one free pizza at any Al's Pizza location Monday through Thursday after the home game. 2 interceptions, a free dessert. And 3 interceptions, that's a free appetizer. Just tell them you want the Jags pick. Up your game and get your Al's Pizza at the game or any of their locations.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. We're at the Hyundai Studios after a Jaguars loss, 30-27. Packers with a walk-off field goal. And time now for the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. I get a vote, Mike gets a vote, Fred gets a vote and a half to break any ties. This could go any way today. I'm going to go with Evan Ingram, though. 4 catches, 36 yards, the game-tying touchdown at the very end, couple minutes to go, and jumping over 3 defenders to do it. And, you lean on him a lot anyway. He's been dinged up a little bit this year. But in a big moment, came through in a big way, I thought, for this team today. So that's my vote, Mike.
That would be my vote if I wanted to take the vote out of Fred's hand, which I don't. So we're going to serve it up for Fred to be the decider here. I thought Evan Ingram's a good choice. I think you could always go with Brian Thomas, it seems like. But I'm going to go a little bit off the board here and go with Brenton Strange, who he plays hard, man.
Yeah,
this guy, he had 5 targets. He had 59 yards, which was 1 short of the team best. And he's the only guy that helped Trevor Lawrence convert a 3rd down on the day, which is kind of crazy. But like you said, Fred, they went to 12 personnel because they had to. And I thought he came up with some nice catches down the stretch and trucked a guy on top of that. He had a great play running somebody over. So a vote for each of the tight ends, Fred. So whomever you choose will be our player of the game.
All right. That was a beautiful play by Strange, by the way, 3rd and 5 to get 21-yard game to keep the hope alive, to set it up for the player of the game. Drum roll. I go with Evan Ingram. JP, if I had gone first, it would have been up to you. Well, actually, we would have won because
we would have outvoted Mike.
I just like the fact that 3rd week back from the hamstring, he's been pretty consistent for the most part since his return. In that moment, big play in a 3-man coverage as well as pass interference on top of it to give the team hope, tying the ball game up right there. I just think it was an extraordinary play by him, and hopefully they'll find a way to run the offense through Evan as they continue to go out this season. I mean, he's the leading receiver from a year ago, and he can set things up for the deep ball if he continues to get healthy and play the way that we know he's capable of playing.
So there you have it. Evan Ingram, 5 targets, 4 catches, 36 yards, a touchdown, and he's the Jaguars Radio Network player of the game. If you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, look no further than Ford F-150. Loaded with impressive capability and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between, this truck makes tough look easy. Your local Ford dealer, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're back with a Baptist Health injury report when we return. It's a long list, unfortunately. In a Jags loss to the Green Bay Packers, 30-27, the final score. And it's Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning, and you could save up to $4,500 through possible tax credits and other discounts. Purchase a new system today, and Florida Home Air Conditioning will buy back your old inefficient HVAC system. Request your complimentary consultation from Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
For us, treating cancer is personal. We're Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center, and we know that every patient is unique. So you'll have a plan created by world-renowned doctors and tailored to your needs. And everyone here will support you every step of the way, so you're physically, emotionally, and spiritually strong for the journey. Don't face cancer with anything less than the team at Baptist MD Anderson. Locations in downtown, Baptist South, and Clay. Visit BaptistMDAnderson.com.
Calling all loyal Jags fans and loyal Gate customers, football is back. And you and 3 friends could win a chance to meet Trevor Lawrence. Entering is easy. Just buy any 5 28-ounce Gatorade or Gatorade Zero products at Gate with your MyGate Rewards app, and you'll be automatically entered. Not a MyGate Rewards member? Download the app and sign up today. See store for details. Alternate entry available at GatoradePromos.com/TLAW.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
Chelsea here. Another month and another high utility bill. Those old windows and doors might be the culprit, letting valuable energy escape. At Renewal by Anderson, our energy-efficient windows and doors have the latest advanced technology, keeping your home comfortable all year round. Renewal by Anderson has a limited-time offer. Buy 4 windows and/or patio doors and get the 5th one free. Plus, enjoy 0 money down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. Some restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for all the details. License number CGC 1527613.
Florida Blue presents game-changing health solutions. Did you know you can relieve stress by doing yoga at a Florida Blue center? And exhale. Treating yourself to Florida Blue discounts. Seeing a chiropractor covered by Florida Blue. Having your own Florida Blue health consultant.
Welcome.
Or cheering on your team right now. Discover more game-changing health solutions at FloridaBlue.com. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor at the Hyundai Studios after a Jaguars loss to the Packers, 30-27, the final score. And the injury report is presented by Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. Well, the Jaguars were starting to get healthier, especially on defense. Tyson Campbell was back last week. Foye Oluokun was on the field today for the first time. Andrew Wingard trending the right way, maybe next week. We'll see with that. With his knee injury, Travis Etienne Jr. Kind of was working out before the game again today, was scratched, was not going to go. We'll see if he comes back next week. But then during the game today, it's a long list of players that were dinged up, starting with Gabe Davis with a shoulder injury in the second quarter. Brandon Sheriff came back in the game after what appeared to be a right leg injury. Was out for a bit, came back in, apparently finished the game. Ezra Cleveland, the left guard, in the third quarter had an ankle injury. And then Christian Kirk in the fourth quarter with a left shoulder injury was out of the game. Brian Thomas Jr. with a chest injury in the fourth quarter. Unsure of how severe on that one. He did not return, though. Ronald Darby in the first quarter early with a hip issue. And then apparently Andre Sisco pulled up lame on that long pass on the final field goal drive with an apparent hamstring issue. That's what Tony Boselli described on the radio broadcast. So, wow, the depth will be tested, Fred. Hopefully these guys get back quickly, obviously, but you know how some of these things can linger in the NFL. And this is to have all three wide receivers go down in one game. I don't remember anything like this.
Right. No, and we're barely we're at the halfway mark, actually, in the thick of it. As a matter of fact, a few weeks, 3 weeks before we get to the bye?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, just have to play it as it goes. You know, Coach was talking about coaching up these guys better and trying to make sure everybody's prepared, and that's how they earn their money, making sure the backup guys are ready to play, and the backup guys got to be ready to play, take advantage of their opportunities. So I've always been a part of the whole system of the next man up, and you take it from there, and hopefully you can get some make some good things happen, you know, in the process.
All these guys are important, but some guys are more easily replaced than others. You know, I think, you know, for a short period of time, Parker Washington can fill the role of Christian Kirk.
Yep.
Nobody can fill the role of Brian Thomas Jr. So,
correct.
I mean, that's the guy that changes everything about this offense in a positive way when he's on the field. And I'm with you, Fred. We're going to see more of that 12 personnel, 2 tight ends out there, but I want one of those 2 wide receivers to be Brian Thomas Jr., man. So hopefully it won't be any – because we didn't really notice anything.
No, I didn't either. No.
You know, so hopefully it's something that, you know, he's able to come back and not miss any time from.
We'll come back, you never know. What's that?
No, I was just going to say you never know. I wanted to add to that, but we'll talk about it.
We'll come back.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
And we'll add to it.
Just quick, brief. It'll be brief.
All right. We're waiting with bated breath for this. We'll be back in a moment, of course. And our final thoughts as well ahead of the Jaguars-Eagles game next week. It's Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
To aim higher, run faster is what elite athletes do. Always strive for better. At UF Health, we have that same DNA. To not just treat a stroke, but to create a fleet of mobile stroke treatment units. To not just do research, but to use AI to save lives with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia. We believe, like athletes, that human progress has no finish line. UF Health, National Medical Center for Team USA.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank, Advantage You. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you ready for some football? Well, you are now, thanks to Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster's got the best way to take it to the house when it comes to being there live. They're the safest and most convenient marketplace to score fully verified Jaguars tickets. And even if your plans get broken up or worse, turned over, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell your seats. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota, let's go places. Get 3.99% APR for 36 months on a new 2024 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Offer valid through November 4th, 2024. Zero down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $29.52 monthly payment for every $1,000 financed. Excludes tax, tag registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Jaguars Radio Network presented by UF Health. University of Florida Health is a proud healthcare partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fred, I cut you off before our last segment ended discussing Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, it was all good, JP. Just wanted to just say quickly, and I don't want to put any bad juju out there, but he went out at the top of the fourth quarter, and we don't know the severity of the injury. It seemed that it might be worse than we assume. I don't know. Well, we can assume either way.
Yeah.
But I would assume that he would have been out there in crunch time, giving what he brings to this offense if he were able to go with the entire quarter remaining.
Right. So if it's anything,
just never know.
If it's anything minor, those guys are
They'll
going to go out
there.
and play.
Yeah,
right.
especially in crunch time. That adrenaline.
Yeah.
You're down 7, just won the opportunity to be the guy to take your team over the hump, which he's been that guy. You know, he has that fight and that dog in him. So we'll see. We'll see what the injury report says and see how long they have him out throughout the week of practice and if he's up next week versus Philly.
All right, the 50-50 Raffle brought to you by Duval Ford, and the winner will take home $26,632 today of the full pot of $51,000 and change. Winning number 990-283-00531. Good luck. Congratulations to the winner. Next week, Jaguars at the Eagles. It was originally on Sunday Night Football at NBC. It has been flexed out. It is now a 4:05 kickoff. And the Jaguars get the Eagles in Philadelphia. Doug Peterson back there again. The Eagles do have they might have underwhelmed some this season early, Fred, but they're still the Philadelphia Eagles, and they still have talent all around the field on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I think aside from Buffalo, this might be the best team that we faced. The defense is amazing. A lot of amazing guys up front. All those Georgia Bulldogs on that side, so I don't necessarily like them anyway to start. The offense, man, they are loaded everywhere. Saquon having a monster game versus his old team a week ago. Jalen Hurts, big game today. A.J. Brown, I think everything runs through him. Smith, it's going to be a tough matchup, and hopefully the team can show up and at least be competitive, and whatever the outcome is, that's what they'll have to deal with.
Yeah, they're loaded, like you said, Freddie, at all the offensive skill positions. That's even without Dallas Goedert. Who knows if he's back next week. Yep. But, I mean, Greg Calcaterra actually had a pretty good game for the Eagles today. So Jalen Hurts had 3 rushing touchdowns. You know that they've got a potent rushing attack. They got great guys on the outside. Jags are beat to heck. It's going to be tough going on the road against Philadelphia.
That's why you're amazing, Mike, because that other name you just pronounced, I don't have a clue. I didn't even know he was on the roster. Can you
Greg Calcaterra.
Calcaterra.
You got it.
Wow.
How many rosters you have him on?
1.
See, hey, look, if you guys want to get into the fantasy world or whatever, just hit up Mike on Twitter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Mike, you're a beast, man.
I know a few guys.
I went into the studio. I saw your face on the wall when I went into 1010XL studio yesterday.
That's scary.
Well, it is.
It's just a wall of
you went in
fame.
yesterday.
Yeah,
huh?
I went in, sat down with E.T.
All
did
right.
some quick
Nice.
stuff.
But I said underwhelming Eagles. They were 2-2 to start the year, and then had the bye week, and they've now won 3 straight since.
But they have been underwhelming at times. They
That's
haven't
right.
played dominant football always. They've played pretty dominant today.
Yeah, if you look at the last 3, I mean, the Giants, the Bengals, and what do you throw in there? The Browns?
Yeah, those are the 3 wins, yeah. Anyway.
But you got to win them.
Got to win them. A win's a win. There's no AP poll, last I checked.
Yep.
Fred, have a great week. We'll talk to you as it goes along, as always. And, this was a tough one to take today, but we'll try it again next week in the city of brotherly love.
That's all they could do, man. Get a cheesesteak while you're at it.
Yeah, why not? Fred Taylor, Mike Dempsey. I'm JP Shadrick.
Hello.
Oh, all right. Goodbye. We're back in a moment. For those on our flagship station, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is next. We'll take your calls and recap this one again after a Jaguars loss to the Packers, 30-27. This has been Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by University of Florida Health, Farah and Farah, Baptist Health, and by Everbank. Now, waiting to hear from you, here are Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and JP Shadrick.
Welcome in the Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey after a Jaguars loss to the Packers 30-27. 355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351. We'll stick around as long as we can tonight. The fifth quarter coming up after we're done, but we'll try to get as many in. There's a lot to talk about, obviously, in this game. The injury bug bit today. The Jaguars rallied from two different 10-point deficits, and then the field goal at the end for Green Bay gets it done. Malik Willis came in the game for the Packers. They ran the football. The Jaguars defense, gave up the big play in the big moment at the end of the game again. But, again, as we talked about, they rallied a couple times. Trevor Lawrence had two giveaways just in their own end. Can't have those. And just an up-and-down game today, but it ends down with a loss.
Yeah, every team's going to make some mistakes, JP, but the Jags seem to come up with creative ways to put themselves – I don't want to say beat themselves, right, and take all the credit away from their opponents, but really put themselves up against it, man. You look at the interception Jordan Love threw. That was a pretty high degree of difficulty play by Jarian Jones. Barely dragged the second toe in bounds. Great play by him. Trevor, on the other hand, throws one right to McKinney and then just hanging the ball out loose and gets it punched out by Edgerrin Cooper on the only sack, by the way, that the Jags offensive line allowed today. You just got to pull that one in, live to play another down, maybe pick up the first down or turn it over to Logan Cook, who, can boom and flip the field on you. So that was, Trevor. The fumble was the key play in the whole process, though. But, then you get the blown coverage on Jaden Reed late in the football game. Missed tackles, as Doug Peterson pointed out in his conversation with Bucky Brooks after the game. I mean, how you and I were sitting here just marveling at the amount of Jaguar defenders falling off of him.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good back, but he's not Derrick Henry in terms of physical size, right? You shouldn't be sliding off this guy like they were. I mean, and then the injuries. I mean,
boy.
Look, your top three receivers go down, and Freddie made a great point. I mean, first, Gabe Davis went out early. Christian Kirk was in obvious pain. We didn't see the injury to Brian Thomas Jr., but the fact that he missed the fourth quarter in a game where you're coming back, and do give the Jags some credit for resiliency and hanging in there. The offense may have found a little something. That two tight end look was really effective, and considering they didn't have many other proven pass catchers out there. Parker Washington, I thought, had a couple of good moments, but overall, it's the key mistakes or failure to make the play that's makeable. It's not just the turnovers. It's the letting them convert a key third down here or there. And the Packers weren't great on third down today, but the Jags were miserable on third down today. And you don't convert a third down until the fourth quarter of this game. You've got almost no yardage on your first four drives of the game. I don't know what's behind these slow starts to the degree that they're struggling like they are 20 minutes into the football game. And so you tell me, JP. I'm not quite sure what the answers are, but you're going to have to find them on a much depleted roster now with a lot of your key players getting banged up. I mean, banged up's not even the word for it. It's, you're like a MASH unit out there right now.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. If you're asking me to tell you, I don't know what to tell you.
I was hoping you might be able to tell me, but apparently
I can tell you a lot of things. I can't tell you that, unfortunately. And I don't know how many can.
We got answers. They may not be the right ones. So.
There's plenty of those, and we'll get to some of those when we come back. 355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351. Your calls on the other side. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading healthcare and technology organizations nationwide to deliver workforce solutions. CSI prides itself on building meaningful relationships and provides personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your workforce solutions reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in Miami and Houston. Watch them win in Philly, Detroit, Nashville, and Las Vegas. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information. Tackle your marketing needs with Kessler Creative. Providing direct mail services for more than a decade, Kessler has a wide range of services from small mailers to large banners and signs. Draft Kessler as your first pick to receive the best targeted mail list. Elevate your business and be on the winning team with Kessler Creative. Kessler Creative. Results-driven marketing and proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Florida Blue presents game-changing health solutions. Did you know you can relieve stress by doing yoga at a Florida Blue center? And exhale. Treating yourself to Florida Blue discounts. Seeing a chiropractor covered by Florida Blue. Having your own Florida Blue health consultant.
Welcome.
Or cheering on your team right now. Discover more game-changing health solutions at FloridaBlue.com. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard Show. 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey after a 30-27 Packers win over the Jaguars. Let's go to the phone lines, Mike.
All right, let's do it, JP. We'll start with Brett out at the Beaches up first here. Brett, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, please.
Mike, JP, I wish I was calling with better circumstances, but I love you guys. I think you guys do a great job, even when the Jags aren't doing well, so I just appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Of course.
Thanks.
I appreciate you guys. I just wanted a little bit of clarification on, like, the illegal shift penalty. I kind of have an opinion on it. I think KC and Miami have kind of, like, made this a focal point for these refs. But it's kind of like I've been watching football my whole life, man, and some of these rules this year, they've been confusing me a little bit with the illegal shift. I thought you just couldn't move towards the line of scrimmage when you were, in motion. But, like, the Gabe Davis one looked like he was going lateral. It kind of looked like he was trying to set up a block. It's confusing me. I didn't know if you guys had a little bit of, insight on that. If you could clear that up for me, I appreciate it. Take my comments off the air.
Honestly, I think, guys like Pacelli and Logman would explain it better, but I do think there's some kind of more emphasis on it, JP. Maybe it's just anecdotal. Maybe we just feel that way because I feel like the Jags have been penalized for a lot of this motion and shifting, and that it's come at the most inopportune times, often in the red zone. But I've always believed, like, as long as you're in motion, as long as you don't make that turn towards the line of scrimmage, you're okay. Sometimes I don't even catch, as they're doing the broadcast, what they called the illegal shift on.
Because they wouldn't show it, the replay sometimes, right?
Right. So, the player it's on, but you don't necessarily know exactly what he did. And we're in here, we're listening to Frank and Jeff and Tony, and sometimes they can explain it. Sometimes they're at a loss, so we don't hear like the referee explain it on the TV coverage. Mike Pereira jumping in, that kind of thing. But it does seem like the Jags have had several of those this year at inopportune times.
And I think some of this sometimes too, it's okay, guys are breaking the huddle, they're lining up, and then they don't set, and then they shift.
Could be
and
that.
And then all of a sudden they haven't set for a second, the ball snapped, and there's too much going on. I mean, you have to be set for, a second. Everybody has to be set, unless there's a motion after that. But if you're not set to begin with, you're never set.
Right. So
you're moving around. There's some of that too. But yeah, it's all you can. It's not Canada. You can't run towards the line of scrimmage. So that's a clear and obvious one that they've been kind of cracking down on the leans and everything that way too.
Yeah, it just seems like the Jags have been on the receiving end of some more of those flags than usual this year.
Well, don't do it. I mean, they don't call it unless it's done. It's not like
I'm not saying
penalties.
that. I'm saying like things that maybe in the past would kind of maybe have slid by, or
it's an emphasis now. So
right, that's what I'm saying. Right,
it's all over the place.
That's the focal point for these. Right, not the only focal point, but it is one. Brett, appreciate the call, and we appreciate you listening as well. Let's go to Michael in Fernandina Beach next up here on Jaguars today on Jaguars Scoreboard Show. I'm so close to being right.
Hey, it's close.
Michael, what can we do for you, buddy? Is he there, Michael?
Michael, hello. Hey, Michael, what's up? No, we don't have Michael.
We didn't hear him on our end. So let's try Big Al on the south side next here on the Scoreboard Show. What's up, Al?
We're standing by to get Al. Al, are you there?
Al, you there?
I'm here.
Hey, man, what's up?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're on the air. What's up?
Yeah, we got you.
I'm on the air?
Yeah, you're on the
turn
air.
your radio off so you're not hearing us twice.
Okay. Hey, listen, I'm not a Trevor basher at any point in time. I just believe this guy's going to be the next great guy. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think it's more coaching? They need to get somebody with him that really can get into his mindset of, hey, don't panic. Hey, do this, do that. Don't roll out this way, that way. I think it comes down to coaching, and this is my opinion. I think he's got great talent. I think it comes down to coaching and with the mechanics of a quarterback. And I want you guys' opinion on that, and I'll take it off the air on that. I think he's a great guy. I think he could be worked with.
We got you.
You know?
Yeah, all right.
Yes,
appreciate it.
I mean, he's got so much coaching around him.
I think this is a Trevor thing. I don't think this is coaching.
Trevor
played from the end of the first quarter to the end of the game. He threw for about 300 yards.
Yeah.
He's quite capable of playing at a higher level, but I don't know if he gets too amped up. He's back home in front of the home crowd for the first time in a while. I don't know what it is, JP, but he came out today. I don't think you need Mike McCoy to tell you don't sail the ball 3 feet over the receiver's head, right? I mean, was Jim Bob Cooter that important to his development? Maybe he was, right? I mean, he was a factor a couple of years ago, and he hasn't been here since 2022. I just think Trevor sometimes takes a while to settle into a football game, and I don't know if that's coaching, to get him to calm down. It wasn't like today, the sack wasn't this big rollout. He was trying to escape to the left. Sometimes you have to escape the pocket. He just didn't pull the ball in. He's just hanging it out there, and Cooper just reached around and just popped it out with a finger.
What's the coach going to do? Hey, hold it tighter.
Right, hold it tighter. Right. I'm quite sure. And because Trevor has cut down the turnovers this year. Now, today, you had 2 crucial ones. So who cares, right? But I'm quite sure that they're emphasizing protect the football. You don't want to take away the playmaking ability. I said this in the pregame. I talked with a Packer reporter last night, and I asked him, 8 turnovers, 8 interceptions leads the league for Jordan Love. Is that a concern? Because he missed a couple of games, and that's a lot to have in the amount of time he's played. No, because he offsets it with a lot of big plays. And, today, obviously, he was limping around the field, and that wasn't representative of what he's capable of. But I don't think it's coaching. Because when he gets hot, he gets in that groove. He's doing the right things. You see, they can go up and down the field. They came back from 10 points down a couple of times. But because of these slow starts by the offense, and it's not only Trevor. Sometimes you get a drop here. Sometimes you miss a block. Whatever the case may be, they're putting themselves in this hole, and they're wearing on their defense because they're on the field for a lot of time of possession in the first half. And this team isn't good enough to constantly dig itself out of a 2-score deficit, and that's where they've been putting themselves recently. So I don't know. If you disagree with that, let me know. But I think this is more of a Trevor thing.
Yeah, I mean, and do you want anybody? I mean, there's not many more head coaches as even-keeled as Doug Peterson when things are going on and deficits and, keep the status quo and just keep playing. That's kind of Doug's whole mantra.
And Mike McCoy is a guy that apparently has a great working relationship with Trevor. He's been here for a few years. He's got guys he can lean on.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater here because I agree with Al that Trevor's got all the ability to make all the plays. I mean, you go out there basically in 3 quarters and throw for 300 yards today with a makeshift group of pass catchers for a large portion of the game. But you got to figure out a way mentally or physically, whatever it is, to be on point from the opening drive, and you can't be 0 for 8 on 3rd down until the 4th quarter, right? And it's not all him, but I'm sure there are times when there's a bad play called. There are times when they've got the wrong blocking scheme in for what the defense shows. But I thought the first quarter today, he was just off the target, and I don't know how you – I'm not smart enough to know how you get him to kind of iron that out of his game and get off to quicker starts.
Neither one of us are. We're back in a moment. Phone lines are open. 355-NFL-1, the number, 355-6351. More of your calls after this on the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Facing cancer takes a lot of determination, strength, and support. And you'll get it all at Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center. Determination from world-renowned doctors, giving you specialized treatment with cutting-edge technology and research. Strength and support from a dedicated team, caring for you completely, during and after treatment. Don't face cancer with anything less than the team at Baptist MD Anderson. Appointments available at baptistmdanderson.com.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
The 2024 season is Pawsome. Register your pet for the Four-Legged Fan Club, presented by Forever Vets Animal Hospital. Your furry friend can access exclusive merchandise, events, and sweepstakes throughout the season. Fan club members will be automatically entered to win the Pet of the Game sweepstakes, with 2 Jags tickets and sideline passes for pet owners, and the chance for your pet to be featured on the video boards as Pet of the Game. Visit Jaguars.com/promotions/Four-Legged Fan Club to sign up. Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in Miami and Houston. Watch them win in Philly, Detroit, Nashville, and Las Vegas. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
Hey, Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
It's not about how you start the job. It's about finishing what you start. The Ford F-150 truck can help. Get the freedom to choose between available gas, PowerBoost Hybrid, or all-electric powertrains, all delivering the power, capability, and efficiency needed to get the job done right. Just another reason why Ford F-Series is the best-selling truck in America 47 straight years. Ford F-150, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Scoreboard Show continues. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey. Packers 30, Jaguars 27. Packers 6-2, Jaguars 2-6. Phone lines open. What you got, Mike?
I got 355-NFL1 if you want to get in. I got Dean on the south side up next on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Dean.
Hey, good afternoon. Well, it's another unsuccessful trek to Everbank to see the Jags. I think the situation is multifaceted. I mean, some of the issues with the Jags as far as just, lovable losers, much like the Cubs. Can't get lined up right, can't get 11 guys on the field for special teams. I mean, that's just basics, paying attention to detail. And, I just think these big contracts in sports today is just kind of contributing to this. I mean, Trevor's a nice guy, but, paying him before he ever produced anything of substance was ridiculous. I mean, look at Mahomes and Tom Brady. They took less money so they could have players they could count on, though, because it's a team game in football. But I think Doug Peterson's a good coach. I mean, where else do you go? I mean, he's had experience at the Super Bowl. But I think the players, it's a culture thing. I mean, look at Avante, the guy that got traded to the Jets from Vegas, the guy that played for the Packers. He's detected bad culture in the Jets locker room. I mean, it's a culture thing. And, it's just like Vince Lombardi said back in the late 50s. We took over the Green Bay Packers before their years of championships. Gentlemen, winning's a habit. Unfortunately, losing's a habit. I just think the Jaguars just can't seem to, they got good talent even with these injuries. They next man up is what they always say.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thanks for the call.
Thank you, Dean. I will say
it's capitalism. It's the market will bear certain things, and guys, he's not the only one with a $55 million contract.
Look, there's a salary cap, and you're going to spend it.
Yeah, have to.
So that money's going to somebody on that roster.
You have to spend a certain amount over a certain stretch of years. Yes.
Look at any bad team in the league, and they're spending money on players. Look at any good team in the league, and they're probably spending extra money on players that they don't need to. By the way, the Tom Brady-Mahomes examples are kind of a red herring. Tom Brady had a wife who made more than he did, who was like a $50 million a year supermodel. Seriously.
That's right.
So it's not like the Bradys were hurting for cash. He was not the main breadwinner in the family. And Mahomes was the highest paid player in football when he signed his deal. He just took a 10-year deal. And so obviously, guys are going to pass him along the way. And look, he's got enough. I mean, we'd all probably be able to get by on $40 million, right? So I don't think Trevor Lawrence, most modern players, you're citing a couple of examples in situations where, like, Brady did take less. And again, he had the Gisele Bundchen fund going, but they were also a championship caliber team.
He didn't take less his second contract, probably. He took that later in his career.
Correct.
You get the money while you can.
I mean, and that's fine. Look, to the point of the Jags do find creative ways to beat themselves. And again, you say beat themselves, that makes it sound like they're the far superior team, and that's not the case, but they contribute to it. They make it more difficult on themselves than it needs to be with a lot of these kind of mental mistakes that we've been talking about here. Let's get Pierre out in California next up on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Pierre.
Oh, he dropped.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
What do
we've got next?
Anybody else?
We've got Brian in Tallahassee joining us next. Brian, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. I'm just on my way back from Jackson. But going back to Tallahassee, but, basically I just wanted to say I don't know why this slow start keeps happening, but your defense showed up in the first and second quarter, literally got 3 and outs, and your offense, this slow starts killing the defense. So at the end of the game, we make points and all that, but why is this slow start happening? Today was a complete disaster as far as the offense goes. I don't know if it's Trevor, but I don't blame it on Trevor. I don't know if it's play calling or what, but there's something that has to be done with the offensive, play calling in the first half. Your defense literally gave you the game, score some points.
Yeah, I'll disagree. All right, appreciate it. The defense gave up 30 today.
Yeah, they did. And now, early in the game,
they set them up for a couple of scores. There's no question about it. But you're playing against a shadow of Jordan Love. The defense was not playing against Jordan Love. They were playing against a guy on one leg.
One-legged Jordan
And they
Love.
couldn't get near him.
Nope.
He just sat back there and had all day long to throw, and they finally got a sack on the mobile guy in the second half, but that's the only one they got. So I didn't look at this as some great defensive performance, and the offense let him down. There's both sides. Hey, defense, make a play on Jaden Reed. Don't let him catch a big pass to flip the field in the most crucial moment of the game and get the ball back to your offense and then give him a chance to win it.
Now, to the point on the offensive side, yes, slow starts, 3 and out,
no
interception,
question.
3 and out. I mean, that's been an epidemic around here in the last little bit, the slow starts on offense and opening drive focus and all these things, and just you get behind the 8 ball a little bit there, and that's kind of how they did it. Now, to the offense's credit, later in the game, they're down 10-0. They come back. They find a way to get down the field on their next possession. He hits a couple passes and then runs it in for 6 yards, overcoming the illegal motion call inside the 10. I mean, that's a big moment for the team to stay in the game at that point. And then they kind of fight back and come back and take the lead. But then Green Bay builds that 10-point lead. Hey, it's not over yet. They come back and tie the game with less than 2 minutes to play. So there was a lot of bad early. There was some really good, great moments in this game for the offense, even without the starting allotment of receivers out there in the fourth quarter. I mean, these guys are going down the field fighting against a team that's – I mean, this is an NFC contender, the Packers at 6-2 now after the win. And they took them down to the final minutes. And this is when they were down 10 at the start of the fourth quarter without all their parts out there. I thought there was overall, I know the moral victory thing's not what we're talking about. Doug Peterson did mention it, though. Hey, there I think are some things to build upon from the way they fought back 2 different times in this game with so many guys out of the lineup.
Yeah, they definitely fought. They didn't give up. And all that's
fine,
great.
But that's where we are.
Exactly. And it's just to the point of our caller there. Just you can't put it all together at the same time, seemingly, right? Like if the defense is playing well, we can't be going 3 and out, interception, 3 and out. Right, so I get it. Like I'm not saying that the offense didn't get off to a slow start. They absolutely did. But I think the defense benefited greatly from the fact that Jordan Love is hopping on one leg. He can't even take a step without being in pain, and they couldn't get a hand on him in the first half. So
they hit him twice, man, at one point. And then, even turning and handing it off was a chore for him.
Yes.
Oh. All right, we're back in a moment. Plenty more time ahead for your calls. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Calling all loyal Jags fans and loyal Gate customers, football is back. And you and 3 friends could win a chance to meet Trevor Lawrence. Entering is easy. Just buy any 5 28-ounce Gatorade or Gatorade Zero products at Gate with your MyGate Rewards app, and you'll be automatically entered. Not a MyGate Rewards member? Download the app and sign up today. See store for details. Alternate entry available at GatoradePromos.com/TLAW.
If you're facing cancer, you want a dedicated team working for you. At Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center, we only focus on cancer. And we partner with one of the largest cancer centers in the world. So you'll have a specialized treatment plan created by our experienced and highly trained oncologists and surgeons, collaborating with one of the country's leading cancer centers. Best of all, we're in North Florida with locations in downtown, Baptist South, and Clay. Appointments at BaptistMDAnderson.com.
Chelsea here. Another month and another high utility bill. Those old windows and doors might be the culprit, letting valuable energy escape. At Renewal by Anderson, our energy-efficient windows and doors have the latest advanced technology, keeping your home comfortable all year round. Renewal by Anderson has a limited-time offer. Buy 4 windows and/or patio doors and get the 5th one free. Plus, enjoy 0 money down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. Some restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for all the details. License number CGC 1527613.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading healthcare and technology organizations nationwide to deliver workforce solutions. CSI prides itself on building meaningful relationships and provides personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your workforce solutions reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
Welcome back. The Scoreboard Show continues. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey and your calls. What you got, Mike?
I got Bird. He's in Gainesville.
As in Larry?
I don't know. I used to go to college with a guy we called Bird. It could be him for all I know. Bird, you're on the Scoreboard Show.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you for taking my call. I'm a 25-year season ticket holder. Used to live in Jacksonville. I commute from Gainesville now to attend the games. But I want to, first of all, make a comment about a quarterback. I know you guys are fond of saying your record is the team that your record says you are. And I think it's time that, the fan base, y'all sports commentators, and Jaguar management come to the realization that Trevor Lawrence is the quarterback that his stats says he is. He's not an elite quarterback. Should not be compensated as one. And I also have a question, if you could help me out understand this as well. The Jaguars were flagged for a delayed game penalty while they're on defense.
Yes.
On that field goal attempt. I'd like some explanation of that, if y'all could, please.
Yeah, simulating the snap count, I think.
Yeah, appreciate that. And then they're kind of cracking down on those shifts right before the snap this year, too.
To try to make the offense jump off sides. Sometimes it's jumping in the neutral zone. There are a few different things that go along with that. Look, you can feel anything you like about how Trevor's compensated. Obviously, the team disagrees with you, and it's a moot point. He's going to be compensated like that. I mean, he signed the contract, so there's no do-overs, there's no take-backs. It is what it is, as Bucky Brooks joins us here on the Scoreboard Show. Bucky, I mean, it's a tale of two Trevors. You had the first quarter where you had all the 3-and-outs, you had the bad interception, and you had the loose with the ball fumble. Yet he goes out there basically in the final three quarters and throws for 308 yards without his top receivers out there, and puts him in position to tie the game after being down 10 two separate times. It's just a little confounding why we can't get the good version more consistently out of Trevor.
So all the pressure was off at the end of the game. And when you put the lineup that you had to put in, it forced everyone to simplify everything. And so as crazy as it sounds, when you have Parker Washington and Tim Jones in the game, and then you have Brenton Strange and Evan Ingram playing a new spot, you can't run the full gamut of plays. And what you saw were a handful of concepts run over and over again. Trevor was quick and decisive. Ball got out of his hands. He knew exactly what to do because they were the base plays that everyone knew. I would say the learning lesson, simplify and let him play fast by doing less. Don't try and – sometimes when you see a talent like that, you try and do too much. I think simplification is everything for him because it allows him to play fast. He wasn't thinking, and he made plays. And, it was more ball control. To me, it was easier, but it was simple because I'm like, man, they're running these same four concepts over and over and over again. But he got into a rhythm and he gained more confidence.
You think they're going to run more two tight end stuff? Oh, it depends on the injury stuff going on, what comes out of that, I guess, right?
So here's the thing. If we go back, and I know the preseason is a completely different animal, but if you looked at the way the offense looked in preseason, there was a lot of ace personnel, one back, two tight ends, two wide receivers. Evan Ingram being kind of that flex tight end that is, do you treat him like another tight end? Do you treat him like a wide receiver? Like, is it nickel based? Like, how do you treat that? there are a lot of advantages that come with a formation like that because you begin to dictate to the defense how are you going to play, and you're able to either run them off the field because they have like little dudes on the field against bigger dudes at tight end, or you run past them by being able to mix it up and create. I think there's something that they can discover when they look at how successful that package was at the end of the game, how they can expand on it and make it simple, because it is a very difficult personnel package to match up with.
Were you surprised with the lack of pressure they were able to get in the first half on a completely immobile Jordan Love?
I mean, that's kind of been the theme. I mean, like, the thing about the Jags and the way they've been playing defense, they're not a high-pressure defense. They don't bring – they rarely blitz, and when they do blitz, it seems like we get caught in the blitz and big plays happen. So they've tried to play it straight with like a four-man rush, and they're relying on 41 and 44 to get home, and that's hard to consistently depend on Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker to bring all the pressure by themselves without stunts and games and a lot of other stuff.
Would you have blitzed more considering the quarterback's playing on one leg?
I mean, I think you can heat them up more, but then that comes with how much confidence do you have that they can cover them.
Right.
And so it's the chicken and the egg. You want to heat them up, but if you don't feel like you can cover them, it's an issue. You know, you just kind of in this thing where the team has been so beat up that you have so many young players and so many different lineups on the field. It's hard to really get a sense of how you need to play, who you are, all those other things, because they've been victimized with a lot of big plays on busts and missed assignments and blown assignments.
And one final thought on this game, you know, it changed when Love left the game, and here comes Malik Willis in. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, gosh, this quarterback can run, and it opens some things up. Josh Jacobs goes wild, and here go the Packers.
You know what happens sometimes on their team? Let's talk about the Packers. From the Packers standpoint, maybe everyone around the young quarterback raises their level of play. They hadn't been able to run the ball the entire game. They put Malik Willis in. They go right down the field. 7-play drive, physical, same plays they've been running, but all of a sudden Josh Jacobs becomes the focal point. They do that. And Malik Willis, like, yes, you have to be aware, but I don't know if we were so cautious about him running that now the other guy gets free. And the thing about the running game, it's hard to turn off the faucet once it comes on. And they were able to run the football. And that's the part that was a little more disappointing, because you're like, man, load up the box, make this guy. Because it looks the same guy we've seen in Tennessee. Now, he looks different in Green Bay because they've done a really good job of building things for him. And the dude that played today is the one that they talked about coming out. But, yeah, Look, it was challenging, and you would like to think, even at the end of the game, like it's under 2 minutes left. There's still a part of me that's thinking, if they're getting 3 and out, they may end up getting a walk-off. Cam Little hits a walk-off to win the game.
Sure.
And the fact that he connects on a 51-yard pass on, and I'll say this, like, it's an old staple play that Kubiak and Shanahan used to run, bootleg throwback or whatever. Cisco gets picked or whoever blows the sign. But, man, you can't give up. And it's been time and time again. We talk about situational awareness. You just can't give up the big plays in those moments. Like, they can get a first down, but they can't flip the field and end up in field goal range. Those are the things that are really upsetting, because we're not that young of a team where we should be able to we're making mistakes that are just on youth and experience. Like, it's just the awareness that really troubles you.
We'll come back in a moment. Our final thoughts. We'll look ahead with Bucky to the Jaguars-Eagles matchup in South Philly. You seem excited about that, Bucky.
I mean, I'm still trying to process this. You're already on to the next one.
We're on to the next.
I thought we have like a 24-hour rule. I thought we were supposed to process it and go.
24 minutes. that was past. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Florida Blue presents game-changing health solutions. Did you know you can relieve stress by doing yoga at a Florida Blue center? And exhale. Treating yourself to Florida Blue discounts. Seeing a chiropractor covered by Florida Blue. Having your own Florida Blue health consultant.
Welcome.
Or cheering on your team right now. Discover more game-changing health solutions at FloridaBlue.com. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars fans, huddle up. Do you own a vehicle made in the last 10 years? If your car is outside of factory warranty or with no warranty coverage, get the best defense against expensive auto repairs with CarShield, the official auto protection partner of the Jaguars. With plans to fit every budget, CarShield helps you cover up to 5,000 parts and systems. Call 800-471-1223 now or go to carshield.com/Jaguars. That's 800-471-1223. Coverage varies by plans. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com. Calling all junior fire chiefs. Parents, register for your child to win the ultimate Jaguars game day experience. Sponsored by Firehouse Subs. Cheering on the Jags from the Firehouse Subs fire truck at Everbank Stadium, flashing the fire truck lights when the Jags score. As honorary junior fire chief of the game, your child will receive a Firehouse Subs gift, and the whole family will receive 4 tickets and a parking pass to a home game this season. Visit Jaguars.com/sweepstakes to enter to win today. See website for terms and conditions.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents in 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank NA, member FDIC.
Welcome back. Final moments of the Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks in studio with us after Jaguars lost to the Packers 30-27 walk-off field goal. A lot of injury questions and a lot of questions obviously moving ahead for the Jaguars overall. Now 2-6. We had the 24-minute rule, so we're on to Philadelphia, Bucky, and the Eagles have now won 3 in a row.
Finding their way.
Are they back to the Eagles we all know?
They're talented enough to always be back, but yeah, they're finding their way, and it's problematic because we're going up there as they get into a rhythm. As Nick Sirianni, after the game today, talked about his team, their identity being physical, having found their stride, and all those things. That's not the greatest thing that we want to hear going into it, but it is what it is. Like, this stretch was going to be the toughest stretch, and I would say realistically, my hope for the team was to go 2-2 during this stretch and have an opportunity just to be in the mix, to be in the mix going down the stretch because the schedule lightens up on the back end. But you're going to have to be the team that you should have been. It looked like today was going to be a game where you snatch one from a heavyweight that gives you a little momentum and confidence. But it is what it is. I mean, we played 4 games that have been within 1 score and fallen short. A lot of what you can look back when you comb through the tape and say, man, we've really beaten ourselves with penalties and turnovers and blown assignments, things that are within the control of our team. And we got to fix that. And we won't win consistently until we fix those areas. And that's something that only can be done on the practice field and then come into the game day with a lot of focus.
Yeah, I don't know if 8 games into the season that gets fixed. You know what I mean? Like,
Tough,
it seems
right?
like that's the kind of thing that you need a reset in the offseason to go through all that. I mean, and it's not just one area where they're making the mental mistakes. It feels like they've got like 8 or 9 categories they pick from any given week. They're, doing it in 4 or 5 of them, and against higher caliber competition like they played today, that's not going to get it done. And that we're going to look back, and we could do it right now and look, like you said, Bucky, 4 games that they lost where at least split those games. And you're feeling, all right, you know what? It's not great, but we're in it. We're in the mix. We're a 500 team. A lot of things can happen. You can't give the opportunities up that they have and expect to all of a sudden put it together against the competition that we've got coming up on the schedule.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to know that you can't get those games back and all those little plays. And we could talk about lessons from the losses and those things. But the reality is you're 2-6 and you are what your record is. And so they have to dig themselves out of a hole, and they have to find a way to at some point get to 500 with a few games left. Look, the magic number is normally 10 to get you into the playoffs. And I know we want to say, oh, that's over, but you still have to play it out until the magic number is 10. So they got to find a way to win 1 and win 2 and kind of stack them. And so hopefully it happens before we get to the end of the year. But at some point, they got to win some of these games that they could have won.
Most of them.
Houston's already at 6. So, yeah, that's how it is.
That is how it is. And you can't look at them, but you got to try and find a way to get into the mix. You can only control your part of it. And until they start playing better ball, the challenge that you have, you don't have any of your starting wide receivers available in this game. No. Gabe Davis has been in and out of the lineup the entire year. Christian Kirk is now hurt. Yep. He's like your most dependable, reliable player.
And he looked hurt. Like he was in serious pain.
It looked bad. It was going to be a great catch. It looked bad. And so he's hurt.
I thought it was a great throw, actually.
Yeah. So you've seen some of that. Brian Thomas Jr., kind of tweaked his whatever happened to him on the touchdown. But you got to have those guys, man. Like, it was a noble fight at the end, but you need your guys. And so we'll see if we can get everyone back. But we got to find a way to win games.
Okay, we'll start this week in Philadelphia, 4 o'clock kickoff for the Jaguars and the Eagles. Bucky, have a great week. We'll talk to you Wednesday for Huddle Up on
I'll be ready to go. I'll be more enthusiastic. I'll be back to optimistic. I'll be able to talk about how we can knock off the Eagles next week.
We expect a full strategic plan out of you. That's how we're going to get that done. Jaguars today, tomorrow, you'll have plenty to talk about.
Oh, yeah. 10 to noon, David Garrard will join me and Tony Smith in studio.
All right. We'll have happy hour tomorrow with Pete Prisco and Tony Baselli, 4 to 6 on 1010XL AM. Fifth quarter is next. If you didn't get in with those guys. Thank you for listening. Our thanks to Bucky Brooks, Mike Dempsey. I'm JP Shadrick, our entire crew, both here at the Miller Electric Center and at Everbank Stadium. Thanks for listening. It's been the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.